Welcome back to Joel's Bowl. Today, I'm making sauerkraut. As always, this recipe is posted down in the description as well as being pinned in the comments. So we're going to get started by getting our jars all sterilized and clean. For this method, I'm going to be putting the covers in a pot of boiling water. And for the jars, I'm just going to be filling them with water and heating them up in the microwave for about 3 minutes. This is the quick, easy, and lazy way to do this. There are other ways too, like bringing it to boil on the stovetop or using an oven. Use your discretion. But this is most important because you do not want dirty jars to end up ruining your sauerkraut, especially because sauerkraut takes at least a week to get ready. So once you got that all done, you can empty the jars and set them aside to allow to cool for later. And then we're just going to get our cabbage ready. For this recipe, I'm using half a large cabbage. And we're just going to shred the cabbage nice and fine. And we're going to lightly salt the cabbage. For about half a cabbage, I'm going to be using a tablespoon of sea salt. And to spice up my recipe just a wee bit more, I'm going to throw in a teaspoon of caraway seeds and a couple juniper berries. And then you can go ahead and give that a good mix just to evenly coat the cabbage with the salt to get the cabbage to sweat. Set that aside covered for about half an hour, mixing every so often just to make sure that the water is coming out. And you know what? I'm going to add some shredded carrots to one of these jars just because I like to spice up my recipes. You can add a whole bunch of other types of ingredients. Of course, for sauerkraut, cabbage is the base ingredients, but there's all kinds of other things you can add, spices and other vegetables. You can look this up online or use your imagination. And you can go ahead and transfer the cabbage to the jars once a sufficient amount of water has come out, once it's been sitting for about half an hour or so. And then you just want to pack the vegetable down below the water level. And for sauerkraut, you don't need any vinegar. You're just using bacteria that's already naturally on the cabbage, and that just gets the fermentation process going. As long as you don't introduce other contaminants, you'll be good. So make sure your utensils and your jars are clean, and you can cover it up and put it in a nice dark place. Now, once or twice a day, you're going to want to come back and press the vegetables back down under the water level. For the first couple days, you might have to check twice a day just to make sure it doesn't overflow or there aren't any issues, but there shouldn't be any. You might get a little bit of foam on the top at first, but after a couple of days, this will go down and you shouldn't have to worry. As long as you're using clean utensils, everything should be just fine. After about 5 to 7 days, you should notice the cabbage starting to smell a lot like sauerkraut. I would say after the 5th day, it should be ready to try, and depending on how you like it, you can put it in the fridge once you get a nice good level of sourness. And then once you refrigerate it, it can stay for weeks and even months if you keep it well. The great thing about sauerkraut is that it's using a naturally fermenting process, and because of this, it's actually great for the microbiome. And there you have it, sauerkraut. If you like this video, drop me a thumbs up and share it around if you know anyone that might also appreciate this sort of content. And be sure to subscribe for more amazing plant-based vegan goodness. Check me out on Instagram at Joel's Bowl and tag me if you decide to make any of my awesome recipes with hashtag Joel's Bowl. Remember, in 2020, it's not difficult to make any dish vegan. Go vegan today, for yourself, for the animals, and for the entire earth. I hope you enjoyed this recipe, and I will see you in the next video. Ciao.